Hey, Saxon Course 2, Lesson 77 is percent of a number part 2. So again, I need to change this problem, this question, into an equation. So if we do it step by step again, what percent is going to be my letter? What percent of means multiply, 40 stays the same, is my equal sign, and then 25 stays the same. So I have what percent times 40 equals 25. Okay, so to solve, we're going to divide both sides by 40, okay, because then that will cancel. So I end up with 25 over 40. The what percent equals 25 over 40, which we reduce down to 5/8. Now, it wants to know what percent. So I need to change 5/8 into a percent because it doesn't want to know what fraction, it wants to know what percent. So I need to change 5/8 to a percent, and you do that by multiplying it by 100%. Okay? So you end up with 500% over 8. And when you divide that, you end up with 62.5%. You could also say it's 62.5%. Both of those would be correct. Okay, this next one, what percent of 350 is 28 cents? So to write it again, what percent of is multiply, $3.50 stays the same, is an equal sign, and then 28 cents. Okay. So first, divide both sides by $3.50. Okay. So I have 1% equals 0.28 divided by 3.5. Okay, well, if I divide that, I end up with, so 0.28 divided by 3.5. Remember, with decimals, we cannot divide by a decimal, so I have to move the decimal place over once here and over once here. So I end up with 2.8 divided by 35. Okay, decimal goes straight up. 35 goes into 2 0 times, goes into 28 0 times. 35 goes into 280 8 times. And that's 280. Subtract, 0 left over. So, in this case, I end up with a decimal answer. But again, I need to know what percent. So I need to change 0.08 to a percent. So 0.08, if I take that and multiply it by 100%, when I multiply it by 100, that means I move the decimal place to the right twice. 1, 2. So my answer is equal to 8%. Okay, with this one, 75% of what number is 600? So we translate it again. So 75% of what number equals 600? I need to change the 75% into a fraction, so I'm going to do 75 over 100 times what number equals 600. Okay, we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal to get rid of this fraction. So I do 100 over 75, I multiply that, that cancels. Multiply 100 over 75. Okay. So I'm going to simplify that I end up with 600 times, and it simplifies to 4/3. I multiply, I end up with 2400 over 3, which is divided by 3, which is equal to 800. So my answer is 800, and we keep that because it's asking for what number. Okay. All right, this one, 50 is what percent of 40? So translate it again. 50 is what percent of 40? Okay, divide both sides by 40, and I end up with what percent equals 50 over 40. The zeros cancel. So what percent equals 5/4? Again, I need to convert it to a percent because it wants to know what percent. So I take 5/4 and multiply that by 100%. Okay. I can cancel the 4 and then 100. 4 becomes a 1. 100 becomes a 25, sorry. So 5 times 25 is equal to 125%. Okay. Last one. 60 is 150% of what number? Okay, again, we do 60 is 150%. I'm going to change that to a decimal this kind of time. 1.5 of what number? Okay, divide both sides by 1.5. So that cancels. And I end up with what number equals 60 divided by 1.5, which is equal to 40. And that's it for this lesson.